Ready? Ready? Okay. Hey, Coach, I know a couple losses down there in Arizona, but some encouraging signs did you guys bring back from?
They were great losses for us, in my opinion. I thought that we played really well against Arizona State. We'd spent just a week preparing with the zone since outside shooting is not really their gig, and we played it really well. I mean, it was pretty much a 5-6 point game with a couple minutes to go, and it ended up being an 11-point spread for us. But we were right in there competing really well with a team that, seriously, their size was just immense. They could go 6'5", 6'5", 6'2", and then 5'9" at the guard. That was just like, wow, kind of athletic. And then their point guard ended up being MVP of the tournament. So we did really well there. I saw some really terrific improvement in the areas of rebounding, which we spent a lot of time the previous week. And to see it pay off in such dividends was quite impressive. Same thing with Lamar. We actually were at 77% defensive rebounding, which is outstanding, especially against NCAA opponent, an NCAA tournament opponent, and a super athletic team that we faced with Lamar. And they had a great combination with Plumlee, who was the Oklahoma transfer, and then a really sensational forward. It was kind of like watching Nash and Stoudemire. They ran pick and roll to death on us, and although their forward ended up scoring probably career high. Now we've given up, 3 career highs now, so we definitely have in trouble with matchups with the small forward position. But, golly, I can't be more impressed with how much we improved in a week's time significantly in just the one department of rebounding the basketball. So if we can maintain that progress and decrease our turnovers, and, again, that comes with experience on the court, and we got so many new players that are establishing themselves on the court. I'm really pleased with where we're at right now, and I think that we're right on the right path to where we want to be coming into conference play in a month.
Now you get to go back and have another Big Ten opponent, make you an honorary member of the Big Ten this year, I guess. But, talk about the trip to Minnesota and what you would like to see out of the team and what you hope to accomplish with that game.
I don't want any slush balls to the face. That's my first goal. Every time I've been in snow and ice, I'm used to it. The kids are like, oh, we want to see snow. I'm like, okay, it's overrated coming from Chicago. But I think that if we can continue to make strides, improve in the areas of rebounding, taking care of the basketball. We've had 3 games where we've shot over 50%, 2 of which we've won. We lost to Lamar, shooting 52%, but we had 5 kids in double figures. We had career highs from Bletcher in both rebounding and scoring. We had career high for Clancy in assists. We had career highs for Reeves and Griffin. So I'm really excited. Jonae Irvin only played 3 minutes in that Arizona State game, and then she was lost to concussion again. So we went and played great guards without having one of our best players at the guard position on the court, and God, we're doing really great. So I'm excited about the opportunity to be able to play against another Big Ten. Why are they called the Big Ten? They have 11, and they're soon to have 12. They're going to have to change that, won't they? Are they going to change it? Do you know?
I don't know. The Big 12 is going to have 10.
It's all goofy, okay? If they were at Cal Poly, they would work this out because we're really smart over here at Cal Poly. They need to change their numbers.
Well, it wouldn't be a press conference with you without the weekly injury updates. Tell us, are you guys any healthier than you were last week? Because last week you said you only had 9 healthy bodies at one point. How's it this week?
Well, we ended up getting Jonae for 3 minutes in the game, and then she got concussed again. So she was out, and then we were down again. We lost one of our walk-ons as well. So Martin has been really day-to-day. We're hoping that she can get through this week and maybe be able to play up in Minnesota. And we're hoping that we might be able to get Allison back playing for us. We're expecting maybe not this weekend, but hopefully by the San Francisco game to have Eligado at least available. So we're getting there. It's we got the MASH unit going on right now, but I am really pleased with how we're developing as a team. Despite the injuries, we're still finding ways to make improvements and to kind of find ourselves.
I know Big West play doesn't start for another few weeks, end of the month. From what you've seen, I don't know how much game video you've seen, but I mean, the first month of the season, looking around scores and whatnot, how do you feel like your team is progressing in terms of some of the other teams, and you feel like you guys will be hopefully, competitive in the thick of it come league play this year? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I've only been able to look at scores. I haven't looked at anybody's play. Probably most impressive to me is Irvine's development. Obviously, they took out Pepperdine. They played a tough game with Fresno State, so they've dramatically improved, which I knew they would. They had some really good guard play. They got a great transfer from San Diego, give them some height, and she can shoot the three ball too. So, there's been some really good growth in that program under Molly's direction. I do think that it is going to be wide open. I think that Cal Poly's going to be in the mix. Davis is just blowing everybody away. They had a huge win out in the East Coast, and I think it was South Carolina they beat, and South Carolina had handled Illinois, the team that we faced, and I got to tell you, that Illinois game that we played them, they were just on fire, 68%. So there wasn't a lot we could do against that, but to see a South Carolina team that was even better than that, and Davis took them out. Obviously, Davis is clearly the favorite right now, but certainly there's a number of teams I think that are really competing well for the Big West, and I think it's going to be a real dogfight.
With concussions, I know you probably never know, but is Jonah, where's she at right now?
Well, she didn't practice today. We'll kind of wait and see. This is a new rule this year where they are taking more time to evaluate. So they have this little computerized test, and the students take the test before they start the season, and then if they get concussed, then they have to take the test again, and it's got to be exact, otherwise they can't practice, no contact, no play. And so she missed all last week. She got to practice on game day, and that was pretty much it. Same with Martin. So, we're pulling our staff out. Shaw and Iwanaga coaches, both of them have been in practice trying to help us have numbers to be able to at least scrimmage. And so I'm so blessed to have people that are willing to do that for our program. But we'd love to get some more healthy bodies out there and get the old youngsters playing. Although, man, if I could still have some game from Shaw and Iwanaga, I'd take that in a heartbeat. They can still play.
Now, what's it been like for you having to adjust, completely alter your game plan without Santiago, and as a team kind of embrace new roles? Have they kind of figured out, hey, our best player isn't out there now?
We're still learning that. But this week in particular, I felt like we had the biggest growth spurt as far as people understanding, okay, how can I contribute? Not just, run the system, but where do I fit into this? And I think that they're just starting to figure that out. I still have a lot to learn, so they're teaching me all the time. We're going to have to do a little bit more, probably quick sets to be able to get Clancy the ball a little bit more, but I like how we're starting to flow and discover our roles as a team. And it is a work in progress. We haven't thrown anything out, but we're having to tweak some things.
Was there mental setbacks, after the initial injury? Was it everything's out the window now for your players, or how did they deal with that, and has it improved or gotten better?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to figure out how to right now, and nothing's been thrown out. Obviously, some things that we've relied on in the past, you can just give the ball to T, she scores a layup, we're good. I think that played into our loss against Lamar. We were up most of the game. They had their star player, their go-to player that they kept going to. Like I said, it was Nash and Stoudemire out there, and Stoudemire just kept going to the hole, and she was really difficult for us to match up with. Even help side, we were just a fraction late, and she needed to knock down the jumper or take us to the hole, and she was clearly more athletic than any defensive player we could put on her. But at the same time, if we had Santiago in the game, I think that we could have had a real great counter to that score. So she scores, we come down, we score. We were still scoring, but we haven't really identified last second we need this shot from this player. I think we're still trying to discover that.
Thank you very much.
Sure.